Just happened to be one night where I was like, I don't want to make food. I had that DoorDash deliver my food.
The events of that night captured on her neighbor's Ring doorbell camera.
And I was like, that's weird.
The DoorDash driver still there.
When I see stuff like this, it's hard to even put it to words. But there's a lot of stupid, sick people out here. And I'm gonna give my opinion on this video, and yeah. And we're also gonna break this down. How does this impact Dashers on a day-to-day basis? When you see something like this, customer has that experience, the neighbor sees it, news outlets. This is why we have some issues with the DoorDash platform as Dashers. I'll get into that as well.
Sharing a horrifying story about what happened with a food delivery driver. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Karima Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. After dropping off the woman's food, which is disgusting when you hear what happens from there, the delivery driver comes back and exposes himself at her front door. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono talked to the woman, and Bianca, this is just disgusting.
Yeah, guys, it really is. And food delivery services have become such a routine part of so many people's lives. And this is really a nightmare scenario. And the reality is the woman would have never known this happened had the incident not been caught on her neighbor's camera.
It just happened to be one night where I was like, I don't want to make food.
It was a typical Friday night for Lily Seefingphone. She works in the restaurant industry and got home from work, ordering a late dinner before going to sleep.
I had that DoorDash deliver my food.
The events of that night captured on her neighbor's Ring doorbell camera. And at first, when the DoorDash delivery driver drops off her food, nothing appears to be out of the ordinary. Then, at 2:11 a.m., Lily grabs her food, glancing down the hallway.
He was walking across, but his eyes were like locked sideways to me. And I was like, that's weird.
The DoorDash driver still there. Her stomach turned.
And so I locked both locks of my door.
Then she went to sleep, never expecting the news she would get the next morning.
I got a message from my neighbor across the hall that has the Ring camera, and he told me like, hey, this is what happened.
At 2:16 a.m., the DoorDash worker was back, masturbating at her front door.
Just disgusted, violated, just uncomfortable. Just because he knows exactly where I live, how to get into my building.
Lily, scared for her safety, immediately notified DoorDash and the Phoenix Police Department. The initial response she got from the company
Said that he was removed from any of my future orders.
Just yours.
Just mine.
A DoorDash spokesperson telling 12 News in a statement that was a miscommunication, claiming he was deactivated right away. Days later, Lily got an updated response from DoorDash saying the delivery driver was removed from the platform, offering her a $15 credit. As for Phoenix Police, a public information officer tells 12 News detectives are actively investigating the case, working to establish the appropriate crime that was committed, along with identifying the person responsible.
Situations like that could get worse. Had he just been standing at my front door waiting for me to get my food and like just push into my apartment.
Lily says she's thankful she's okay, but believes this man's brazenness is an indication this wasn't his first time, hoping an arrest is made soon.
Hold him accountable for what he did.
Just an awful situation. And DoorDash says every driver has to undergo a criminal background check and motor vehicle check. Again, police say this remains an active investigation and no arrest.
All right, let's break this video down. Disgusting. It makes me question the mental state of this guy. He's got some things going on. A regular, sane individual doesn't do something like that. Drop food off and then whatever in front of the door, expose himself, or he goes back after. The girl says he's sitting there lingering. You don't see that on camera, but you don't see a lot on camera, but I guess maybe they couldn't show everything. As Dashers, this is why we don't get gate codes, door codes sometimes. Think about it. It has to be. And if I'm a young woman living alone in an apartment, this is my advice to some of y'all. I don't think this happens often, but we see things. Don't use your name when you place an order. Because a guy's not going to be as likely to do something like that if he thinks another guy's at the other side of that door. It's just not. what disgusts me the most is like the fact that a lot of customers aren't tipping. This isn't the reason why, but when all these stories go out there, and this is on a news. This isn't a dash. Like, if you're watching this, you're a driver. Maybe some of y'all are customers, but 99% of you are drivers still, or you were at some point. So this isn't going to be like something that's going to transform you necessarily. But when the consumer sees stories about DoorDash drivers, they're all negative. There might be the occasional, maybe once a year, a good story about a driver changing somebody's tire, or a driver getting a cat out of a tree after he drops an order off. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But that's not what the news shows you. And quite frankly, that's not what we talk about. It's always these negative dashers that paint the picture that dashers are like this. And some are. Most aren't, man. This is crazy. That poor young lady, like, it's nuts. For that dude to be that horny or whatever he's got going on because he sees her or whatever, it's like, oh, she's attractive and she's a good-looking woman. But to do something like that, and then DoorDash's response, here's a $15 credit. Do you really think she was reporting that to get a 50? Like, come on. That's DoorDash support just doing their thing. And then obviously DoorDash legal or PR steps in. We deactivated this guy as he should have been. And they say we do background checks and motor vehicle. They do that stuff. But, like, come on. It doesn't really. You can't escape all the idiots. And this guy's an idiot. And I think he's got some mental issues. You have to be crazy to do something like that. You know, everywhere's got video cameras. They look like an apartment complex. If they don't have a Ring camera, they got cameras in the building. So, I don't know, man. I'm just tired of seeing these stories that are so negative about us. Where's the positive stuff? Can anybody share with me? Because some people sent me this. And then I saw it on YouTube, and another person's, I'm like, do we got anything good? Do we got some good stories so that the consumers can have a little more confidence in DoorDash? Because right now I think the consumer spending confidence is down. The confidence that they're going to get a good delivery is down for some consumers. I think most of us are fine. It's pick up, it's drop off, it's easy. But when we got people, remember 2 years ago or what? Somebody's used a bathroom in a trash can. Now I get it. DoorDash delivering, hey, we all got a story about having used the bathroom. But to have to go that bad and you're defecating in the apartment complex trash can, caught on camera. I mean, all these stories are just so negative, and it's just like, at what point, man, like, we need a win for the DoorDash community. We need a win. How do we get that win? Because there's a lot of good stuff going on these channels on YouTube, but it's just DoorDash driver watching it, DoorDash creator creating it, DoorDash driver watching it. How do we get the good stuff? The good interactions, the good customers, the good pickups, the good drop-offs, the good stuff. How do we get that in the public eye for the news instead of this? Everybody wants clicks and views. News channels are no better or worse. Like, if it bleeds, it leads, right? They're going to get negative, exposing this guy did this, put a cute girl on camera. People are going to watch it. She's like, this will happen to me. Where's the good story? Where is a good story? We need some good, man. It's all become so negative. It's all become so like this. And even the DoorDash news that we see, it's like negative, lower pay, this, that. I get it. But like, where is the stuff that's going to give the consumer like a little more confidence when placing an order and then having them leave a tip? That's what's going to help us. This kind of stuff hurts us. And the only reason I'm reacting is because it's just drivers watching this. Most consumers won't. This video's not going to go viral. It's not going to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to get in front of that many consumers to make a difference. But how do we get some videos to them to where it's like, man, these guys are really actually like, you know, putting their life on the line sometimes, or it's raining, they're driving their own cars, they only get paid $2 sometimes. DoorDash sends them all these crazy mileage. I didn't know they didn't work it. How do we get the consumers to have the correct information instead of this is what they think a DoorDash driver's about? We look like slobs. We don't know how to act. We're doing crazy stuff in front of Ring cameras. We're taking crap. We're taking dumps in trash cans inside of apartment complex lobbies. Sometimes the ones that go viral are the DoorDash drivers crying in their car because somebody didn't tip them when they did not have to do that order. Like that, it makes us look weak, or it makes us look like a horrible human being. How do we get the good stuff? There's more good than bad. That's my question to y'all. Y'all tell me in the comments down below. Poor young girl, man. That's just crazy. I mean, and DoorDash's response, they could have responded better, but it was probably a support agent at first. And then the PR, HR people had to come in and a little media clip or whatever. But that guy needs some help, clearly. I'll see y'all tomorrow.